Hello, and we are back with another very, very talented musician.
Extremely talented.
Blushing.
Yeah. So, Mark.
Hello.
Mark, you have a big event coming up
Yes,
that I am like really curious to hear all the details because everything I read makes me more and more and more interested in it, and it's like the place that everybody wants to play.
And it's the one everybody's trying to figure out how to get to.
Right. Isn't there a big line like that?
Practice.
Yeah, and you get to play at Carnegie-Hall.
Yes, it's a dream come true.
So, this is just amazing. Can you tell me about it?
Well, what I know so far is that it's a Rolling Stones Hot Rocks, the double greatest hits compilation came out, I guess, in '72, I guess, because it's a 40-year anniversary. And they're doing a whole review where everybody sings one song kind of thing. We have Marianne Faithfull.
I used to have tea with her in London at 4 in the morning.
I think she's getting 2 songs.
Well, she should.
Yes. But the rest of them are getting one.
She should.
What
song are you doing?
I'm gonna be playing with Ian Hunter and the Rand Band. We're gonna be doing 19th Nervous Breakdown.
Oh man,
here it comes.
I love that song.
But every song you say, you're gonna say,
I mean, I could do the whole double record.
Yeah, that's a really good song.
That's a great album.
I could play the whole night and do the whole record.
That's a great album.
Yeah. So
that's a good one.
So you've been practicing with Ian Hunter now?
We just got done recording a new record. He's still putting the finishing touches on it, but we recorded it real fast, kind of get in, get out, nobody got hurt kind of thing. 4 days, we did 11 songs with guitar overdubs and such. So
it sounds very Ramone-esque.
Yeah.
Right?
It's one of those kind of exile, warts and all kind of laid out rock and roll albums. I think his fans are going to love it because it's got a little more guitar. It's kind of, the guitars are cranking.
So where were you born?
I was born in Trenton.
Really?
Boise.
Really?
Yeah. I grew up in South Jersey, and I moved to Hollywood when I was about 22, and spent a couple of years there, and I moved to New York City, and it was like, oh, this is it.
Oh, so
been here ever since.
Good for you.
Thank God you did too.
So how did you meet?
I met him through a mutual friend, Angela, that he was dating at the time. And what happened was...
And it wasn't your wife.
It wasn't my wife.
It's a good friend of mine as well.
Yes. And what happened was that I had pretty much, I had just left the Rattlers, and I was starting to do my solo, actually my solo work. And what happened was that I asked Angela about a guitar player. She said, "Oh, I'm going out with mark-bosch, and he's a very good guitar player." And let me tell you something. She was right. This guy, let me tell you, if I was a girl, I'd have sex with him. I'm telling you, just an amazing
Well, in New York, you don't have to be a girl.
No, but if I was. I'm a straight guy.
Now in Hollywood, what do you say? Aren't they turning over that?
What's that?
Number 8.
They doing the Proposition 8?
Yeah, they're trying to repeal it.
No, but the Supreme Court ruled against it, I think, yesterday.
Oh, they're such a pain in the
ass. God. Would they please stop already?
Exactly. So, but back to
back to the situation. So, Mark came in. Actually, he did pretty much about half the album, and I want to just tell you that
in one day.
I don't know if it was one day, but I could just tell you that this guy is so incredible. I mean, he's just amazing. He's just an amazing guitar player. He has great ideas. He just knows what to do. And anybody that has him on a record is fortunate. Is lucky.
So
lucky
how
stars.
does somebody get lucky enough to have you on a record?
Get the checkbook out.
Ah, that's cool.
Like
I did sessions. I did some stuff on Rachel Sage's new album.
Okay, and Rachel gave us some treats.
Yes.
Thank you, Rachel Sage.
And I work my way around town. I don't, people call me and I answer the phone. And,
do you remember the first song you learned how to play on guitar?
Yeah, it might have been like Smoke on the Water.
Okay. Yeah, I know. That's a fun riff, though.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
I'm sure you
I played it a while.
I actually played it
fun
this
then,
week
I started learning just riffs, you know, and then a couple months later, it's like, oh, what are these chord things they're talking about? Because I was just playing like how many more times, like Zeppelin 1 stuff and that kind of thing.
Who were your guitar gods?
Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, Pete Townsend, Lida Leeds. But after the initial few years, teenage years of digging them, I really searched out the history of electric and acoustic guitar and everything and anything. And it all kind of works into your style eventually.
Right.
So I go back to like Eddie Lang and Django Reinhardt and Chet Atkins and Les Paul. All those guys are fantastic.
Right.
And you can learn something from everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be a famous guitar player.
No. Because
And,
a lot of good ones aren't famous.
You know, I just learned from I used to sit in front of TV and watching concert and Midnight Special, and I go, oh, okay, he's putting his bar chord at the 3rd fret, I had my guitar right in front of TV. I'd be like
So that was your
6
internet.
inches away from the screen.
Right.
And my mom and dad would be upstairs sleeping, so I had the volume on 1. And I'm learning songs right off of TV because they didn't have any other.
Right.
There was very few rock and roll guitar teachers.
So you're
back
self-taught?
then. They're all jazz teachers. Yeah, a lot of it. And then I studied theory. Yeah.
Oh, so you did learn all that
Oh,
stuff?
I got my theory chord.
Wow.
Wizzo on that stuff.
Wow.
That's how I know what to play and when to play.
I'm in awe. Every time I'm with him, I'm in awe. I mean, I have to say, I know I'm like a groupie. I'm a Mark groupie.
It's easy to be, I think.
What?
I don't think it's hard to be a Mark groupie.
It's not. It's very easy. It's a very easy thing to do.
So do you have a lot of people hunting you down and groupieing you?
No, I wouldn't say that. I have a lot of friends. No, people just keep it friendly, you know.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's been a lot of the fun of doing all this. It's just all the people you meet and
What was the
doing
first time?
different things.
What was the first big thing you got to do?
Elliot Easton.
The
The
Cars?
Cars, they all got solo deals when they renegotiated their electric contract, and Elliot did a record with Jules Shear, wrote the lyrics, and he went out to do a number of tour dates, and I auditioned, and it came down to me and this other guy, and I
So
was
that
just
was it.
crossing my fingers that he picked me, and he picked me. And
Wow, and your whole life changed.
Yeah, it was pretty big for me.
That's
yeah.
great. So
We
did you
did
go
my
to
first-
Boston?
First bus tour, rehearsed in Boston for 2 weeks, got thrown out of the Rathskeller, all that stuff.
Good for you. Well,
Yeah,
we
we
want
had
to
a
hear
great
a
time.
skeleton in the closet. So, like, can you tell a good skeleton?
I don't know what you mean by
You want to tell them?
That's something that you would not tell anybody normally.
Why would I tell you?
Well, because it's National Molasses Day.
It's chocolate day.
And
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Before we put him on the spot, I had a question I want to ask you. Like, what would you tell someone, like, somebody who wants to play music full time? What would you tell them to how to go about,
Take it seriously and, put in more than 5 minutes a day.
Absolutely.
Like,
like
make it
10
like 5 hours maybe.
a day.
10 hours.
Yeah, do that for a
10
couple of
hours
years
a
and
day.
then see what happens, and then you'll know if you got any legs in this business or not. If it's not happening after you've been playing about 10 years, you gotta maybe reconsider things.
Let me ask you: let's say, for example, like somebody. All right, so somebody's playing for like a lot. He's pretty good, but he doesn't really know anybody. So what would he do? I mean, what would
Go to jams, open mics, sit-ins, blues jams are pretty good.
Right.
If you're gonna be a lead player or whatever. Get in a band. Get in more than one band. I was always in like 8 bands at a time. I still am. One band, you play once a month. That's not gonna make it. You got to be out there like every day doing either rehearsing or gigging.
Right. So the more you're playing, the more playing around, the more notice and more opportunity.
Exactly.
We're playing, less talking about playing.
But isn't that with everything?
Oh, yeah,
It's,
do it.
yeah, exactly. Eat that chocolate.
Another question.
I love French chocolate.
All right. When you're off the road and what do you call it? I know he cooks. Okay. Is that like therapeutic or do you? It is.
What's your favorite meal to make?
I've been hot on chilies lately.
Yeah?
Escarole soup.
Wow.
I want to go to. I want the next
Chili's
chili thing
legendary.
going on here. I heard it's amazing.
It has more ingredients than I can even rattle off the top of my head.
Wow. How long does it take?
It doesn't take long at all. It only takes me about 2 or 3 hours to get it up and running. And then serve it get a bowl with, get Spanish rice on the bottom, and then you get cheddar and pepper jack on there. Then you put the hot chili on top, and then you put more cheddar and jack on top, and then the fresh onion, splash of cilantro.
It's funny because our next guest owns a restaurant. And
I've heard of that.
We were segueing.
Kate's right there, and she's like smiling at that.
We were segueing in.
I put chocolate stout in there. I put Baileys. I put 3 different kinds of beans.
Do you have dinner parties?
Yep.
I usually have a couple people over. The ones that
Rue, we gotta go all
travel and beg
Sounds
and
really
those.
I mean, we really do. Mark, we really gotta. You gotta let us come to the next
We can
chili
wait.
party. I've been waiting for a couple of years for this.
But
What are you gonna
I'm
do?
gonna make one this week. I might make one tomorrow. Actually, I have a big pot, so when I make it just
It's a big event.
It's like an army thing, because I know everybody wants some. And
I'll be there with my Tupperware, that's for sure.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's your skeleton.
That's my skull.
Wow. So, we're gonna take a break and come right back, and maybe
Okay.
you can think of a good story that you had one day of your
I
life.
have a few.
Oh, good. We'll be
Okay,
right
good.
back.
We'll be right back, okay? Don't go
Yeah.
anywhere.